Mariana Fernando. I am 19.
My name is Amy and I'm 23 years old.
My name is Megan Meeks. I'm 20 years old.
Okay, my name is Anissa Lopez and I am 24 years old.
So for kindergarten through first grade, I was in public school, and then from second grade to sixth grade was my last year in private school. I jumped around from like different private school to charter school to private school again. Very heavily Catholic. We had mass like every day and twice a day actually. And then I went back to public school in the 7th grade, and I was just in a public school system after that.
I went to public schooling first grade through senior year, and then I had a private school for kindergarten.
I went to public school K through 12.
I went to public school.
In private school, we had religion classes, so we learned the history of like different religions, and I learned pretty much every religion there is out there and their backstory. But like, I was talking to a friend the other day, and like she was talking about how her little cousin is in Texas, and she has Texas like history classes, and I was thinking like I've never taken an Arizona history class, and I grew up here, but apparently most people did, and I think that might be because I was in private school that I wasn't able to get that.
I do vaguely remember my history courses. In elementary school, we obviously learned about history, and then I had a designated course in 8th grade. Now all of that was in Illinois, so I don't know how they do it out in Arizona, but then at Ironwood I had just all the standard history courses.
The only history courses I remember are just the general history courses. Nothing specific.
We're talking about women figures in history. I remember the amount of time that we spent on women's history is probably very limited, given the fact that I can't really remember when or if we did. My history teachers in high school were really fun, so our classes were more interactive and talking than like going into the book.
Like Women's History Month, it was never too much. I guess we didn't learn like in depth on them. If anything, I learned most of what I know about them. Like Mary Queen of Scots, I just like did my own research on it just because I'm really interested in that time period. But I don't think we covered her in any class I've ever taken.
I did, yes. I don't recall all of them, but we definitely learned about the prominent ones and the ones that really made an impact, but I don't think we learned about enough.
I did learn about female figures in women's history. I would say majority of the time spent learning about women in history was lower than men, because back then I think men just kind of ruled history.
Frida Kahlo, Harriet Tubman, Rosa Parks, God, what's her name? Women's suffrage. I cannot remember her name for the life of me. Okay, what else? Wow. I really can't think of anything off the top of my head.
Yes. The first one that I thought of was honestly Pocahontas. Anne Frank, Harriet Tubman, Jackie Kennedy, and Eleanor Roosevelt.
That's awful. I can't. I literally can't. All I can think about is Michelle Obama. I can't remember 5 women in history. I don't know why.
5 female figures in history. Rosa Parks, I'd say. I feel like that's a given one. That is one. No, that's it.
I find it very harmful to future generations. I know growing up, like, we hear about these main, like, female figures, and they're pretty much our only role models. And even at those time periods, like, if you think of, what artists, a lot of artists, actually, male artists stole work from their wives and you put it under their own name so it could get out there, and female artists weren't allowed to, like, they weren't given that space to be out there. And I think that as we progress as a society, we're allowing more female voices to be heard, but how long is it going to take for it to be put in a textbook, you know?
I think as a woman, specifically for my experience within engineering and within the STEM field, it is very almost intimidating, and so you definitely have to prove yourself more. And I think if more students knew about women's history, that they wouldn't be we wouldn't be looked down upon as much, because it's definitely, like, I've had courses where it was me and one other woman. I've had courses where it was me and one other woman, and that's a bit intimidating when everyone is a male in your field. And so I think that if we had more history taught to us, that there wouldn't be so much fear when it comes to equality within certain fields. Because it's definitely, like, you definitely feel not discriminated against, but you almost feel like you walk in and you don't have the upper hand. And that's why they have these societies like Women in STEM, and why there's so many people trying to push that, because it's just not there. So I definitely feel that one firsthand. I can say that. I don't know much about women's history, but I know what it feels like to be the only woman in your classroom. That's for sure.
I feel like it'd be very helpful to see that there have been powerful women all throughout history. Because we see it a lot now, but we don't really learn about it back then. I feel like it would help us growing up to have learned about that.
It makes me feel a little uneasy having these questions being asked and now realizing that women's history isn't really being taught. I would say I'm, pretty equal how I see things, and realizing this now and getting these questions asked, couldn't even answer 2 women figures in history. Like, that's kind of sad. So I would say it's kind of unsettling. It's not really fair. I can tell you the men who are in the history books back of my hand, but the women, no, that's right now.